Hi guys, Blast here. Last time, I made a video about how I'm going to answer your questions. Specifically, questions that you left in the comment section of the previous video. Today, I'm going to answer your questions. Before we get started, here's a quick recap. Originally, I posted the video titled Ask Me Anything about 3 weeks ago, as of the time I'm making this. Along with that, I also changed the channel banner, because the other one just kinda got a little old. Anyway, I gave you a fair time to ask questions, and now I'm gonna read them. I don't think we have to play that again. I'm pretty sure the viewers already get the point now. Anyway, like I said before, I'm gonna answer your questions that you left in the comment section of the previous video. First comment is from Stupid McStupidson III. Ah, the nostalgia. Anyway, he says, what are your thoughts on Plotagon, and what did you grow up with in your childhood? Well, if you ask me, Plotagon is alright. It's just kinda controversial.
Stop disliking my videos.
But overall, it's okay. I don't have much strong feelings on it. Now, about my childhood, I grew up with stuff like Roblox, Flash games, Flipnotes, most of the Mario games on the Wii, the Nintendo DSi, and Nintendo 3DS, and a bunch of Cartoon Network shows from like 2009 and 2011. And honestly, the Nintendo DS is one of my favorite consoles growing up. And I don't know where I put it, I should go look for it. They always go missing when you don't look after them. Now, that was my early childhood. If you're talking about my later childhood, then that's where I gained access to the internet. On YouTube, I grew up with stuff like Element Animation, Dan TDM, Battle for Dream Island, a bunch of other old animators, probably some FGTV here and there. I was 8 by that time, and most of that inspired me to be what I am today. Especially Jack and Jellyby though, they made a really big impact on me. The second question is from Lua. I hope I pronounced that correctly. They said, hi. Anyways, here's my question. Do you have a favorite restaurant, and are you actually related to Zimmy Waffles 3? I'd probably say that my favorite restaurant is probably Denny's. Please don't call me fat. And am I actually related to Zimmy Waffles 3? Yes. Yes, I am. This is why we collaborate with each other every so often. We are related. The next question is from FNF Fan. They said, am I in a relationship with anybody? I guess you could say I was. But when the pandemic kicked in, that just kind of stopped everything. So yeah, no more relationship for me, guys. The next comment is from Brutman124. He says, I guess I must have been a little too lenient with the whole ask me anything motto. Whoops. Seemingly, I don't recall ever being in that situation, actually, but I have seen it happen before. It's painful. The next comment is from Zimmy Waffles 3. Hey, it's my brother! He says, what is your favorite food? Well, my favorite food is pizza. Look, I'm sorry, I just had to say it. I can't resist it. No one can. Anyway, next comment. This one is from Joel Martinez the Beyonder 2004. He says, what are your thoughts on furries, and are you a furry? Boy oh boy, do I have a long history with that fandom. But yet they haven't really been that prevalent throughout my life until recently. I'd say around like 2020 and beyond. Now it's time for the second half of his question. Am I a furry? All I could really say is that the answer is kinda complicated. However, I can say in a rather simplistic form. 50% yes, 50% no. Basically meaning that I kind of am, but I'm also kinda not. And I'm proud to be that way. For anyone unaware on what a furry actually is, a furry is an animal character with human characteristics, such as being able to speak, having human intelligence, walking on 2 legs, having hair, wearing clothes, and having a human personality. Take my character for an example. Anyway, enough of that. Next comment. This one is from PIF Lover. I hope that's how you pronounce their name. They simply asked me about my favorite hobby. I'd say I'd like to draw, write and tell stories, edit videos. I'm also into gaming as well. Gaming. And all those hobbies are the reason why I'm here. Anyway, next comment. I'm actually recording this one twice because my video editor just crashed immediately. Like, it just went white for a split second and then it just immediately closed. And I never got the chance to save that little small change I made to the video, so the changes that I made were just immediately undone as soon as I reopened the project, leaving me with no choice but to do this little part all over again. Very funny, but also very unfortunate story. But enough of my small little nerdy tangent. This comment is from Suspected Orange. They said, "Do you have any favorite YouTuber?" I actually have a lot of favorite YouTubers, but I guess I could list a few. Nowadays, I usually watch Element Animation, Zimmy Travels 3's channel, because he always prepares these little surprises that I never see coming. I'm his secondary editor, but I don't know everything that he's working on. The list goes on and on, but I don't want to extend this video even further. The next comment is from Drew P. They said, "Do you play Roblox?" Why, yes I do. As a person who's been playing since 2013, I've been on this platform for a while, with my first experience being playing as a guest for about 3 years, up until 2016 where I created my account. Anyway, next comment. I always say that, I should say something else. This comment is from Dawsome986. They said, "Do you like the Angry Video Game Nerd?" I don't actually watch him, but I have heard of him. And no, I wasn't introduced to him just because of the whole Bit Wars meme from like a year ago. And now it's time for our last comment. This comment is from Buster YT. Wasn't expecting him. Of course. Anyway, he says, "What's your favorite video game?" I'm not sure how to answer that actually. I guess my favorite video game right now is probably Earthbound. Ever heard of it? And it seems that I have answered all the questions that I was asked. Thank you to anyone who was able to participate and ask me a question. And of course, thank you to anyone who was able to make it this far into the video. But I want to go over one more thing before I go. Sorry if it took me a while for me to publish this video. Things have just been getting really rough lately, and this video's development history hasn't really been the best, which is why things kinda fall apart sometimes. I made the first half of this video in Filmora 10, and the second half in Filmora 11, and some features were a little too different to the point where I couldn't really make it like it was all made in the same version. Is my character bouncing around by a few pixels? That's because of the update. Are some movements not in sync with the audio? That's because of the update. Another problem that really bugs me is the fact that Filmora 11 is really unstable sometimes. The program is prone to crashing, freezing, and sometimes just entirely being unresponsive. And the problem is that this could be a really huge setback. If the program's going to be really prone to crashing and undoing all my work, then it's obviously going to be impossible to make videos. So I hope Wondershare fixes this, or this could be a really bad problem. But for now, I'll try to finish up Zimmy Travels 3's Q&A. Trust me, nobody is working on that. See you there!